So today I want to rekindle our creative spirits, our creative side, our creative essence, because every single one of us has one, don't we? And I truly believe that our creative spirit is like a gentle companion. And its main goal is to walk beside you, to play with you. It's not here to relentlessly push you into burnout, although we end up there. But our creative spirit knows the exact type of environment it needs to succeed. This is why we need to listen to it, get in touch with it. Our creative spirit, our creative side is a gentle companion, not a demanding taskmaster. Let me say that again. Your creative side is not a demanding taskmaster, but it's a gentle companion. Now, I know many of us probably treat it like a demanding taskmaster with many regressive deadlines and demands, and we treat it like we are some regressive CEO. I've been there. My creative spirit be beefing with me sometimes. It's like, Heinz, stop it. Stop it with the ego. Let's come back. This is why we have to be careful. This is why we must nurture it, honor it, respect it, create the necessary boundaries. And it's important that we understand how our creative side operates, how it functions, the fuel that gets it going. Now, the creative spirit doesn't really care about how much money you make. Now, what it cares about is that if you do make money and you become resourceful, you can fuel that back in to the creative journey so it can continue to create. The creative side doesn't really care about how much followers you have. It doesn't really care about the numbers. It cares about inspiring others, your community, so they can tap into their creative spirit too, so we can have a more beautiful world. You see, our creative side is not physical. It's a spirit, right? And it doesn't have the same worldly, or I'm gonna call them sometimes selfish desires that we have. It has a whole other mission. Now, many of us find ourselves in deep procrastination. I've been there, you've been there, we all be there at times. Hate it. And then we feel like our creative side is like being hesitant with us. It's holding inspiration back, holding energy back, and then we get upset with it. But maybe your creative side is just tired of your demands, tired of the way you've been treating it, tired of the way you've been stepping into this companionship, because that's what it is, right? We have a relationship with our creative side. And to me, it's one of the most beautiful forces we experience. It just flows right through us. We take inspiration, remix it, bring it into the world, inspire others, connect. Oh my God, I love it. But every relationship needs to learn how to do what? How to give and how to receive. So let me ask you a question, especially to all the content creators out there. Have you ever focused on how much content you would make before you even really thought about what you would make, or how much fun you're going to have, or the value or the inspiration you want to provide, the message, the lesson, before really even doubling down on your ideas or just having that space to experiment and play? You create a demand of 60 videos this month for TikTok, because that will be sure to get you 5,000 new followers. Have you been there? We need to be mindful of this, because our creative spirit, again, doesn't really care about the numbers, doesn't really care about the money, although it recognizes these things are important so we can continue to do what we do. But we need to have thought and care for the creative side in this equation. If we solely rely on our ego and our own desires, and we run the world's race, and we don't meditate on our own pace, we lose that connection with our creative side. And then what does that do? We feel depleted, we feel lost, because I believe our highest form of nutrition is in our expression. It's food for the soul. Our creative side, it doesn't care about those demands. It wants to experiment. It wants to explore. It wants to play. Your creative spirit wants to play. It thrives in spaces of like curiosity and joy, not spaces where pressures of perfection and rigid expectations are forced upon it. You understand? Although it loves to perfect things, but it doesn't like the demands you have sometimes. Now, for all the creative professionals out there, I know we got to do our best. We got to get our money. Money is a resource. It keeps the wheels turning. So we do need systems and structures. I'm not saying, hey, let's just be free spirits frolicking in the wind with our creative side. No. Because the creative side is wild and free. We need to give it systems and structures as well. But these systems and structures aren't designed solely on output or the result, but they're designed in a way that supports our play, supports our curiosity, our experimentation. It supports time to go within the mind because it takes depths. It takes discovery to go within here and bring new ideas into the world that they have not yet seen. I find like in my spaces of quiet, that's why I take my trips and I, have my solitude. That is when the creative spirit speaks to us a lot of the times. It tells us, hey, embrace these moments of stillness. Although they are uncomfortable, embrace them because this is when I know you are listening and I can give you the best ideas. I can bring it all together for you if you are willing. Inspiration, often we know, emerges from within and our experiences. But if we are full of distractions, we miss those and we forget about what's in here. The hardest part for me has been balancing like the business side and the creative side, especially since like my hobby became my business. It's a whole new challenge, but I love it because it's like we're learning more how to love our creative side and truly honor it. Any challenge you meet is an opportunity. And instead of imposing, restrictive deadlines and sticking to one creative process, I realized, the creative spirit, it likes to embrace flexibility, rhythms that ebb and flow that can go with our natural cycles of the season that we are in. It has no problem with structure, but it's like, hey, let me be free within these boundaries to explore. Let me explore these new ideas. Don't tell me just to do what the trends are doing. Let me be the trend. My friend, you are the trend if you discover who you are and your authentic essence. Creativity has no 1, 2, 3 step process. We build processes and those are great, right? They become our systems, our guidelines, but we need to be willing to destroy those processes as well and develop new ones because sometimes the creative spirit's like, yo, let me be wild and free. But right now you have me on an assembly line. Simply focus on output, simply focus on numbers. And when we do that, what happens? We become a machine. And that's not where creativity thrives. I've been there. I'm sure many of you have been there. Algorithms kind of promote machine behavior, give you this insecurity that you need to do more, post more. But I think, the individuals, the creators that can really carve out that time for themselves and experiment and reinvent themselves will be the ones that will have a long-lasting, fulfilling life with their creative side. If you want to learn how to create in a more mindful way, I actually created a course with our sponsor, Skillshare, and I believe it will be of great value to you. So check it out. Now, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning like I do. I believe it's key to invest in ourselves, in our personal growth, and our creative abilities. All the information is out there now. I was interested in joining Skillshare first off because I am a fan of fine-tuning my craft. I will be using Skillshare to learn a little bit more about how to fine-tune those frequencies, EQ my voice so it can come through the speakers in the perfect tone. Now, I've learned from creators like Sorrel, Lover, Ali Abdal, and in my own course, we journey through creativity as a personal development tool. And I want to remind you that no goal is too small. Now, something nice about Skillshare is It's ad-free, so you can stay in a zone while you're exploring all these new skills. Plus, new premium classes launched every single week, so there's always something new to discover. And I would love for you to check out my course on Skillshare, because I believe our highest form of nutrition is in our expression. So I want to hook you up. The first 1,000 people to use this link in my description will get a 1-month free trial on Skillshare. So start creating and learning today. Now, last year I tried pottery because I was like, I want like a new creative thing to try out. And I was like thinking it was going to be easy. Yo, I was humbled. But let's think about the potter for a moment. Does the potter control the clay? Or does the potter mold, sculpt, and dance with the clay? You know, the potter definitely takes the lead. But at times what I learned, well, the clay is going to lead as well. And then you must become a gentle companion with the clay. And if the potter becomes too rigid in its vision, it loses its hand in that dance and the chance for a new creation. I remember I was trying to make a teacup, and then it was looking like a plate. And I was like, no, we got to be a cup. And it wasn't happening. And once I just allowed it to be a plate, it actually turned out to be a pretty beautiful plate. So this is how we start to learn how to honor our creativity. I don't want you to think of it as like a distant force that sometimes like you and sometimes doesn't, right? It's actually always there, willing to walk with you. Look at it as a gentle companion who can go places you can't go, but you are the one that has a body. You are the one that has a mission, that has purpose, and you can bring these ideas that came from like a ethereal place and bring them into fruition. You know, James Cameron, director of Avatar, one of my favorite movies, absolutely amazing. He said, curiosity is the most powerful thing you own. And Japanese animator Hayao Miyazaki, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, my apologies, but he said, reality is like for those who don't know how to use their imagination. And what are they telling us here? They're telling us that your magic is in the boundless space of discovery, where you go within your mind. Creativity is not about a destination. It's a transformative journey that unfolds with like every brushstroke, word written, picture taken, sound expressed, or idea explored. It can be your self-development tool and a spiritual practice. It can help you make friends because your vibe becomes your tribe, and it can support you in expressing all that you are feeling within here. It can be a healing process. It's a reflection. It mirrors you. This is what we talk about in my course. This is why I love creativity. It's my tool to become a better person. It teaches me how to speak to myself, because the way we talk to ourselves is either nourishing or discouraging. And in this era where we all have like this possibility of fame and riches because of the internet, it seems like the creative spirit has been abused. It's been put on an assembly line. It's actually unfortunate, you know. But the beautiful thing is, our creative side is very forgiving, because all it cares about, it wants to play. So anytime we become a demanding taskmaster, all we got to do is forgive ourselves, ask for forgiveness, and our creative side will come right back into the mix and say, hey, let's play. And when we truly align with this gentle companion, we develop an inner knowing that our creative goals are not bound by external expectations or validations. You understand? Your validation isn't in your worldly performance. Like I always say, if people around you don't understand your creative side, a lot of the times they're just judging your first few steps, not your heart. They cannot see what you feel and hear. So continue to embark on this journey and bring your dreams into fruition, and they will get on board. Because remember, you are a creative spirit and you are free to express yourself authentically, to explore the depths of your imagination and celebrate the unique beauty you have within. When we make this shift from a regressive task manager, stop being like that, to a gentle companion, we can embark on a lifelong dance of exploration, discovery, and self-expression, creating a life that is not only filled with artistic abundance, but also joy, fulfillment, and a deep sense and connection to our true self. So make sure you go play with your creative side today. And you done know in hindsight, everything is going to be all right. I'll see you soon.